drafting. Draft definitely a big part in that one, but D+ opened pretty good. I think the Des did a really good job of highlighting where exactly it went wrong. And if they can stick the landing this time around, we might be going to a third game, because let's not forget, a lot of the early skirmishes actually were pretty even. It was close until Guma really started going, and then from that point on it was not really close at all anymore.
Yeah. I like the ban on the Annie. I think it's just too consistent. Like, it just offers too much. Either you're going to play it yourself, or you don't want to give it for free over to T1. So definitely a good ban in the past bunch of months. And she came back. What else are they going to take off the board? Will we see more focus on Nico and LeBlanc again? Is definitely another question. Those two got banned alongside of Vi in the first rotation.
We'll see. Nico, to me, really an outlier. Is the Poppy going to get taken away instead here? I wonder what that means for D+'s draft. Maybe they want to look towards a first pick Vi. Not a champion that Canyons necessarily has looked amazing on, but definitely one of the strongest picks in the meta at the moment. And Nico, to me, kind of a must ban. We'll see what that is, what the T1's ends up. It's going to be Ashe instead.
Yeah. Ashe getting the respect she deserves, but also a little bit of, okay, let's leave a lot of OP stuff open. There's Vi, Nico, LeBlanc, as I mentioned before. Those are all still available. So DK could get one, and then T1 could potentially get two of them.
It's got to be Nico, especially because D+ can flex it. So Nico seems to be a no-brainer to me. Will be given over here towards either Showmaker or Canyon. And that knowledge does make it a little bit tougher for T1, because if you end up going for, say, LeBlanc, it gives a counterpick opportunity to the mid laner of D+, but they're looking to take the risk. Gonna be Faker's LeBlanc. It's gonna be a little different, you know, it's a different flavor. Yeah. Because we will be looking towards a LeBlanc that goes Shiv, as opposed to the traditional AP variety. Lee does make sense. Viego makes sense as well. Both of these pair very well with the LeBlanc.
How about Vi?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, well, okay.
Snap pick.
It's a little bit delayed.
Wow.
But Canyon chose it. And yeah, there's a reason why he chose it so fast. It's very strong.
And D+, their comp looking great thus far. I really like the combination Vi and Kai'Sa for obvious reasons. Every time Vi goes in, Kai'Sa will be able to reposition. And I wonder if this is going to give T1 the opportunity, or if they're going to go and pick your AD carry now. Because if they don't, then I could see some bans towards Guma, make his life a whole lot harder, but that's not going to be the case. It's going to be full topside here, locked in for T1, and for D+ now, we'll see what the bans are going to be. This is where they fumbled last time around. See if they can make the right calls here. I think that the Nautilus will be very high priority for D+, for obvious reasons. Combines really well with Kai'Sa, and the point and click CC, I think very, very good for dealing with LeBlanc. Notoriously slippery. Is Gnar going to get taken on the board? Gnar and Jax, probably? Gonna get banned away here. Although Kana's Jax was not necessarily fear-inspiring in the previous game.
Yeah, I mean, he did well in the lane. It just didn't really reach a lane or game state where he was able to really have a big impact in that one. But let's see what they do decide to ban here once again. Gnar. What is the other focus for Guma as well? I mean, you could suspect that maybe they go into Samira Rel again, but they can't get them both together. So that's another consideration. Maybe you could take away the Rel. Here is the Kennen ban.
Interested to see if they want to go like for straight up Samira again. Neela is another opportunity. Does feel like these type of AD carries might be a bit of a safer bet. Xayah, really good into dive, already taken away here, as it's going to be a Phalios. So Alistar this time around is available, but T1 can of course just R5, but that does leave it open. And Kai'Sa Rel, with the amount of engage that the Vi also provides, going to be looking really good. And that's Varus, which very strong AD carry, don't get me wrong. but I don't envy Guma in this one.
Feels a little bit like the last game.
It's like Kent?
Side swapped. Yeah, I mean, Kent's
R5
an option.
Kent seems pretty good here.
Is Renata ever a consideration?
Yeah, sure. Works as well.
Janna.
Or it's just Alistar.
Yeah, might just be Alistar. Probably Alistar. Renekton picked up here for Kana. So another big Renekton player picks up another big Renekton pick into Cassante.
One of his comfort picks says,
better Tom Kench.
we're not going to believe anything until we actually see the lock-in come through.
Well, it's definitely not that.
No.
Okay. Having a bit of fun before we get the inevitable.
We got a little bit close there at the end with the brand. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
wait. Calm down there. Not going to be the case. It's Alistar. As mentioned, great into the rel, able to cancel a lot of our engages. And, you know, Varus Alistar, obviously level 1's not going to feel great, but post 6, you got good synergy. Could provide some reliable engage and counter engage. Although Vi, still going to be a problem that Guma, I don't think is really going to be able to deal with. So more pressure on the rest of T1 to get the top side ahead so that when D+ do inevitably engage on top of this Varus, they're going to have to pay the price.
Yeah. I do think, you know, it's a little bit like the last game. I do think, though, that T1 have some better options in terms of disengage compared to what DK had in Game 1. So we do have some DK fans here for hoping for the victory. Some T1 fans, of course, always out in force. Make no regrets, as they're trying to... you know, they had to face Genji and KT. Bit of a rough time early on, and now they're trying to go back on the successful journey that they have been on.
And T1 looking to get themselves the 2-0 here. Feels like a reversal of roles this time around. It's D+, a lot of power, incredible early game fights, and even when you get to the mid to late game, the Nico-Kai'Sa combination gonna be a tough one. See if T1 can weather the storm.
Well, let's see if they can make it work this time around in game number 2. Let's hop onto the Rift. Korean Giga Chad still here, by the way, to do the fan chants as he sits down to watch game number 2. A very popular YouTuber out here in Korea, as you may have guessed.
I did, in fact, guess that, fellas. So thank you.
Yeah.
For the clarification.
You know,
I really appreciate
the
it.
Korean Giga Chad joke, I think, has kind of run its course. So I'm gonna find his real name and.
Well, while you do that,
let him know. You know.
I'll take a quick look at the rune setups here. Kenyon going for PTA. A lot more early game burst and a lot of setup when it comes to the mid game skirmishes and fights.
Apparently, it's Horse King.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Good enough.
Apparently in Korean it's Malwang, which is Horse King. So just the literal translation right across for everyone, just in case you were curious. Anyway, we are here for game number 2. Depth is back on the Kai'Sa. I definitely feel like the Kai'Sa is in a really good spot. I'll be curious to see how T1 dispatch of it this time around, if they can.
Faker also going for Demolish here, so really leaning into the split push fantasy of this Shiv LeBlanc. I've already seen it a bunch of times, but here we go!
Okay, there it is. Nice headbutt away from Keria. Takes that. At level 1 instead will dispatch of Kellen. As generally, as Alistar, level 1, you're kind of just sitting around. A lot of people take Q, but in this case, knocking away Def for the follow-up was definitely the right choice.
Yeah, like a lot meant that Keria was able to deny any actual damage being done to Guma. And as a result, we now will have still a slight health lead here, but He's not looking too rough for the T1 AD carry. Both ADs also going for the expected Doran's Blade. A lot more aggression, a lot more opportunity for actual gameplay here as Oner making his way over.
Wow. This is a very interesting pathing. Cleared top side, now he comes immediately to the bot. As Flash is down for Deft, the stun is going to land. Is the damage there? The stun comes in from Kellen. He saves Deft's life just barely. As, of course, Deft did have to flash and cleanse just to get out, but at least he stays alive.
So a favorable summoners trade. Oner, Guma, Keria all going in with the flashes as, unexpectedly.
He's pretty good at this champ.
Pretty good at LeBlanc, as it turns out. Gonna be fun to see him use this new variety. Of course, changes a lot of how the fights in particular, once you start getting some items play out. But going back to the bot side, still a favorable trade for T1 because they're able to deny a lot of CS and most importantly experience here to the Kai'Sa. And with lanes like Varus, Alistar, if you can hit an early 6 spike, it can give you a free dragon. Like just off of the back of that, if your opponents can't walk up because they're at the risk of getting hit by the chains of corruption, means that you are able to early on get yourself an objective. And we saw in the previous game that was not the best of dragons, but maybe this time around T1 can roll a better one. That is, if they are able to actually get an early game dragon.
Saw Cannon was hovering topside. Zeus is taking a little bit of a beating, but should be okay. He is Cassante after all. As Gumayusi has picked up the Kurchizi Asheshi shard here for the Shiv that he is going to be...
Don't do this to me, Velvas.
I thought it was pretty good, as we do have a nice little setup here. Hex Flash, Deft is so dead. I mean, he is just 100% dead. There was no way for him to get out of that one, as it was just a really nice setup from Keria once again.
Keria getting the engage. We'll postpone the Kurchai's shard because we actually did some research.
Okay.
Conversation to talk about display. Oner revisiting. A lot of heavy attention being paid towards the bot side, but what's important is that D+ isn't really getting anything on the other end. Might be able to get themselves a Drake though here, and that would be really, really nice. Set themselves up a little bit better for the mid game. But even though Kana is able to get ahead in the 1v1, we see that, there you go. That's that E empowered auto.
Do it again.
Callan doing a whole lot of work there, like the observers highlighting it as well. Giving early leads to this Varus is going to make the Kai'Sa's laning experience a lot worse. Kai'Sa really is one of the champions where once you start falling behind, contesting becomes so much harder because of how short range you are. And Shiv helps a little bit, but it doesn't take away the issues completely.
Yeah.
As that is definitely just a minion.
Yeah, trying to join the back one as they ping it. They know this is happening. Can they stop it though? Keria might just be the sacrificial cow in this case. As down he goes. Showmaker will be there to set it up, but it's a trade kill because Guma gets the rel on the way out.
And that's fine. He can pick up the wave. It's Keria dying as well.
He's full health.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Oh man.
Looking very rough here for D+ in this one from the get-go. Now they do have a composition that is exceptional at negating an AD carry, particularly one like Varus that is immobile, that doesn't really have a good way to peel for himself, but
he's 2-0.
Well, yeah, and also if Deft is gonna just be like 30-20 CS behind, then you lose a whole lot of power.
Yeah. As
we go way back to the Hex Flash into combo coming through here, able to get the trample, and then that's the end of it. Guma getting enough damage down, and then here, Showmaker, obviously they are aware that this is happening, but crucially, they're unable to actually get on top of Guma. I'm almost wondering if like Showmaker maybe could have gone for the flash there. Like if you also knock up Guma, go for the follow-up damage. Kellen is dying anyway. Could have been worth it with the wave crashing, but D+ not opting to that. So, about Kurchais, it's a reference to a specific anime character. I don't remember the specific anime, but we looked it up. We watched some scenes where the character's name was being pronounced, which was cool.
Kurchizi.
So, well, the pronunciation is Kurchais, so they actually go for like the soft G in the middle, but I feel like that's kind of over the top. So Kurchizis, that's
so Kurchessels. I don't know.
I'm not falling for it, Veldas.
I don't know,
I'm not
man.
getting worked up.
I don't get it. I'm trying my best.
Come on, man.
They built 3 of them.
Yeah, because we're shivving.
Kerthreezy, yeah. There you go. There's 3. Yeah.
So, Faker gonna back here.
You think anyone's gonna build a Storm Razor?
I don't think they will. I'm feeling safe. Storm Razor was good for the 1 patch, and then we nerfed it because it was too good, and then we let it go.
Yeah. It's a tough balancing act, that balancing thing. Hard to get it exactly right in a game with this many variables. Down will go the Rift Heralds, so Canyon's going to get that at least for the trade of his bottom lane getting absolutely pummeled early on. Also got that early Drake as well, so that's something extra that Canyon has been able to pick up. We'll see what he can get done now that he is level 6. Definitely one to rely on the Vi to actually make plays happen, as our kit would suggest, as Oner comes in and just steals it away, upgrades his smite, says thank you very much.
Yeah, no smite available there for Canyon, so unfortunately not going to be able to pick it up, as Guma, thanks to the serious influx of gold that has been generously granted to him, courtesy of Keria and Oner, now sitting on the very early shift. Assume this is going to be the more AP-heavy build, where we just go for the Ginsus and Nashors and whatnot.
Kanna's really far behind this turret here, but he is Renekton, so he's going to be able to taxi onto this wave. Good timing on that. But you saw that Zeus was definitely threatening something. He's able to get the Dominus out.
Yeah, that's on us for thinking the top lane was going to have action.
I mean, it was action.
Yeah.
They were fighting.
True, yeah. It's more so Cassante, I think, that has any fighting. Just him.
It's Renekton. He is a top laner who fights.
We even got a solo kill last game, so I don't know what I'm complaining about. Top lane is relevant, everyone. Top lane matters. A lot.
Yeah, it's good, you know, when we have the opportunity, at least, that we get to say that, even if it's not true.
Guma. This is a 3v3 waiting to happen here.
Keria's, uh-oh. There's a sneaky Vi in the brush, but Keria just going to put his big cow body in front, as now Oner comes in, and they just snipe down the Vi. Canyon not able to get anything done. Here comes Showmaker on the TP, at least able to trade 1 back. But still a favorable trade over to T1. They even get the TP out of that one, as it was just basically cleanup, I guess. So T1 off to a very good start once again here in game number 2.
See there, the power of that follow-up. Keria goes in for the engage, and Guma, with his Chains of Corruption, can get so much damage down, as Faker is just straight up denying Showmaker access to this wave. Might be flying a bit too close to the sun.
No, he's definitely flying very close to the sun, way too close, and he will get burned. Does a nice little head scratch for that one. And, I mean, yeah, he did zone Showmaker off the wave, but that was not
Yeah,
true.
it's not. I'm calling not worth. You know what the best part is? Deft made exactly the same head scratch after he died earlier.
Everyone was confused by that.
He made the same expression as well as.
Nice
Keria.
little play from Keria. Is really trying to get on top of Showmaker. There's the trample, and there it is, the follow-up. Oner gonna take down the kill. And man, this game is messy, but it does feel like outside of the Faker shenanigans, everything is turning up T1.
And Keria seemingly rejoicing in the return of support with agency.
Yeah, maybe a double Keria POG angle. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
he's been pretty solid today.
Has been, and we haven't really seen a lot of Keria as T1 seemingly is very aware that this is happening, and obviously see the reluctance from DK, because engage on Alistair just never is going to work, so they committed TP as well, but by that time Oner has also shown up. There's more than enough damage available. Counter trade is nice, gives a little bit of gold into the pockets, and then here, what starts off as I think a nice attempt at denying some first CS from Showmaker quickly gets punished, as that is way too close to the enemy jungle, particularly taking into account respawn timers. And then here we get, and I think Showmaker as well caught a little off guard. Keria sets up the stun very nicely. Guma, all he has to do is walk up and fire a Q.
Yeah, it's just an alley-oop. Just playing the game, collecting kills. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Just walk up,
Yeah.
get the kill.
And okay, some actual action up here. We do have Dominus still available, as is
Sure.
Flash. Yeah, I'm going to take that back. No, a couple of flashes. Here comes Oner. And again, he still has Dominus, as the stun will land, will kind of survive with the Gore Drinker. Looks like yes, but another knockup comes in, double slice and dice, and Heartbreaker is going to miss. So they do push him out of lane, but Kana will survive.
For now is, ooh, yeah, should be able to get an empowered Q off, will be okay. It's Kellen and Canyon looking for someone to get caught in a rotation here. Faker does have his Shiv now done, sitting on a stackless Dark Seal.
Demolish proc.
Yep.
Huge.
I actually like it. You know, I think Demolish, when you have so much pushing power, just feels great.
You think he's going to go, what's that item? Hull Breaker next?
I do not think he will. No.
Why not?
Because you want AP, because that's what that's how you dab.
But you want to push the lane, and you want those extra
fights.
resistances.
Or you kind of want to do both, ideally.
So Hullbreaker third.
Sure.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, the
Cool.
you know, resistances for LeBlanc are great as well. She used those very well. Really needs them.
Excellent. Yeah, Faker does this thing, as we've already seen, where he kind of over-focuses on his lane. I feel like when he was getting really aggressive onto Showmaker there, he's like, well, surely they're not going to be here, and it's just me versus Showmaker, right? So I feel like this game is really good for him to just play LeBlanc in a side lane and just do that. But he is sitting here, and now he's going to get Magnet Stormed as Kellen is trying to set this up. This is the combo! The alley-oop into the kill onto Faker. Down he goes. Now sitting at 0 and 2, and T1 not really able to follow up on that, even though DK used everything to try to kill that LeBlanc.
And I think T1 might be able to, at the very least, try and set up for a Herald here. With all those ultimates down, there should be an opportunity. But yeah, Faker going in for some of that juicy poke with the Shiv, and then immediately gets murdered. And we see the reason why Vi is such high priority, right? The only downside is that D+ isn't actually able to turn it into anything more. So, mistake from Faker. He gets taken down. But at the same time, looking at what D+ actually able to get out of it, I still think it's a favorable trade for T1. And
It ends up being that, yeah. I mean, Faker was still holding on to teleport, and he could have joined if DK were like, okay, we're going to stick around. And I think T1 would have won the fight from there, and DK realized that, so they don't even contest onto it.
Yeah.
Faker's right back on the bottom side. Like, it wasn't a good play, and now it does end up working for them, as Faker might be isolated once again. He's just going to face check the Frost. The Vi is still there, but no cease and desist here from the Vi as Faker goes back in, just trying to play with his food a little bit. No Drake up for still a minute.
should be mid lane turret to come through here as a result. If T1 do want to go for that instead, looks like they're setting up to gain control of this river. Bot lane turret also very low, and we haven't actually seen any of the turrets fall, so first turret would be a big boon here. And Faker now gonna get that with his Demolish. Look at that. That's gonna be the first turret going over to T1, further solidifying their gold lead. And for D+, I think a lot of it will come down to this Dragon fight. If they start stacking Infernal Drakes, if they get a big team fight here, I think that the game is definitely still recoverable. But if you don't get on top of Guma, if Oner starts resetting, I think the way back into this game is gonna then solely rely on T1 making some big mistakes.
I'm beginning to realize why sometimes Jonah Strong is showing us the top side. I was looking at the rest of the map, and everybody was either standing still or backing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? So
yes,
that's why we look at the top lane.
The only viable
I don't know why I
reason.
didn't realize this until this very moment. But it makes a lot of sense now.
Because you're not an observer.
Yeah. Learning those observer tactics day by day, or year by year, perhaps.
Game
at
by
this
game.
rate. Not learning a new one every game, that's for sure. Not at my rate. Well, T1 are sitting here waiting as Showmaker is going to ult the wave. Guma is very aware he can count the minions, turns out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. He's fine.
Yeah.
Completely okay.
He said 4, and he's like, oh, that's weird. I'm just going to back.
Definitely shouldn't woke up. And Showmaker unable to get anything, and that is going to be an Infernal Drake going over to T1
For free.
Well, maybe they gotta
Cheeky Cassante kill.
Pay a little bit here, but Keria is in the general vicinity, and so they hear me out. Trade deal. You get Infernal Drake, mid lane turret, damage on bot lane turret, and I get a teleport. And maybe a Viego. No Viego.
Oh, they got his ult though. That's good, and they're gonna lose cannon for it. Yeah. Oh, he does have to flash, but Oner is not holding back today, as he will be able to pick that one up. Faker, very fast, but not able to follow up on that one. Scallon just gonna crash away. And yeah, I mean, DK, they're really floundering here. They're not finding many angles. They're giving up free objectives. And Oner on a bit of a tear. He's got some help this time. Kana has flash. Will he elect to use it here? He goes into the Dominus, gets stunned 100-0, and down he goes. So no flash involved in the play.
True top laner experience, 0-0-0, only 1v1s, and then
play safe, top.
Fed jungler, fed AD carry show up. You're like, what do I do? What have I done wrong? Well, you know, nothing in particular. But this game, with the Drake going over to T1, with the gold lead further expanding, looks to be slipping away from the plus here, VODS.
Yeah, and this is like the tail end of the huge macro win that T1 got. So keep that in mind. Like, they had already gotten a huge win, and it's DK trying to force a pick.
Yeah. D+ just seemingly not being aware of where to go, how to get back from a tempo deficit. Oner using the invulnerability or the, being unstoppable on the R there to cancel the Vial, and then from that point on, things get very bad as Kana. The unfortunate reality of being a top laner in the game.
You gotta play in live here as they're trying to stop the Rift Herald from crashing. I thought for a second we were going to get some action. Ends up we did not.
Nope, not allowed.
Well, I mean, we've had 11 kills in 20 minutes. That's a pretty good read.
We have, yeah.
I think, you know, we're getting more action on average, I would say, here in the LCK nowadays with the change in meta.
It's gotten a lot better.
Yeah. A lot less, you know, just farming. As here we go, in goes Keria once again looking for the pick on a Showmaker, but no follow-up. Big Magnet Storm from Kellen. They will take out the cow. Down goes Keria as now Zeus left out to dry. They should be able to get this pick as well. That is 2 picks to the side of DK. And now they have their eyes set on maybe the Baron. It's very early. They might still try for it.
Yeah, this is really tough. Oh, they know!
Oh, they're going to catch Oner here. He is in a lot of trouble. No flash, no Heartbreaker, no life bar. Down he goes. That's a 3rd pick.
Ooh, I still don't know if they can do Nash, though. Because Guma and Faker are going to have so much damage. And this early on, yes, you have Kaisa, which has a lot of damage towards the Nash, but the poke might be a problem. We'll see if T1 can stop him here. Otherwise, D+ found their way back into this game.
Somehow, some way, pick after pick, T1 kind of false sense of security, and yeah, they really have to poke him down if they want to have any choice. Showmaker trying to zone, trying to not let the spark fly, as Guma and Faker both going to flash away, as Keria trying to provide a front line here, but Faker just getting 100-0. Down he goes, teleport coming in, and the chains are going to miss. DK on the run, and I think they got out. Yes, they did.
And D+ turn a bunch of picks into a Baron. Incredible influx of gold to come through here, and it all starts with Keria going in on what he thought was deft. Ends up being Showmaker, and they are able to get out, and then Zeus goes down, and this, I don't think you can turn this into a Baron this early on, but then crucially...
여기. 니코다.
It's Nico.
뺄게.
I'm gonna back.
빼는 게 나을 것 같아.
Yeah.
I think it's better that we back. Like, that's what he said right at the end.
And then here we see Kellen with the re-engage. Gumayusi forced to flash just of the threat of Canyon walking up to him after the Q. And Zeus with the TP, not getting anyone. Guma not hitting an ultimate. And D+, average out the gold. Should be able to take a lot more control of the map following this play.
Yeah. It's not every day that you accidentally engage onto the Nico and get flanked by a Renekton, but DK were ready and waiting, it seemed, for that exact opportunity. So now, with the Baron buff, they're going to try, I would assume at least, to fight over this Infernal Drake, although Showmaker in a rough spot. They may know he's Nico this time, tries to Protobelt away. Keria just waiting, TP's coming in though. As on the edge, they're trying to burst down this Nico. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. But meanwhile, we do have some ghosts going down on the side of the LeBlanc, but it's still 5v4 in favor of T1. They're looking for that backline. Deft is being towed away. The Heartbreaker gets him down with the help of Zeus. And that is the 80 carry of DK gone alongside of their mid laner. This should be the Infernal Drake to T1.
And after a big gold swing, it's Heartbreak again for D+. As Showmaker gets caught out in side lane this time, and it's stolen identity not enough to protect him, as the rest of D+ just can't quite get there in time. The ult only hits Oner, and as a result, the damage is there. T1 this time around not going to be fooled, and by the time we see Deft join the fight, it's already done. Without the damage of the Kai'Sa, you're not winning anything. Kills come through. That is going to be Soul Point, and basically the entire Baron buff being negated. That's 100 gold minus.
Not anymore.
600-700 gold Baron power play for D+, and we're gonna have a fun little blip in the gold graph, but so Faker might be dead.
Well, he's still LeBlanc. Let's see what he's got in the kit as the W will miss. Faker doesn't look like he really has it. Okay, he's not going to get rooted, but he does not have a health bar, so one auto should do it. There's the Q. Showmaker does take down the LeBlanc. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is getting some value in terms of the push in the top side. But yeah, most importantly, they do get the Drake. Faker does get caught again.
And will be able to pick up double Oner here is T1. Really big win for them. A+ still holding on. 3.5k gold lead. It's not insurmountable. They want to try and fight. I love this.
Yeah, there's no LeBlanc.
Oh, they don't know. Guma doesn't have sums.
They have no idea. This Varus is so dead. The root comes in. He does have stopwatch, which will negate a lot of that upfront engage, but he does go down. The Renekton takes him out. Nico is dead, though. Zeus on the Cassante gets a double knockup. They're turning this around with the help of Mr. Cassante. Another knockup onto Deft, and now Faker is in that back line, lands the chains onto Deft, and somehow, through the power of that top laner, they are able to make it happen. Canyon will get taken out. That's an ace for T1 on this map.
And nothing seems to go D+'s way, even with a beautiful flank to come through from Showmaker. The time bought by the best item in the game, stopwatch there, actually quite big, as we see Zeus and Oner able to hold off some of the front line. Deft also crucially doesn't get to join until later. And by the time that Deft is actually able to start doing damage in this fight, Faker has rejoined. And Oner, with the resets, able to keep his health bar full. Keria doesn't even go down, and D+ not finding the opportunity that they thought they did.
나이스. 준이 나이스. 미드 탑.
I think he's talking about Oner.
He's been having a
giving him
game,
a little nice. Yeah, it's crazy though, the amount of disruption you get in this T1 comp with the Cassante and the Alistair. Like the amount of people that are trying to play the game, and they just consistently, they're getting headbutted, they're getting knocked up by the Cassante, double knockups coming in over and over from Zeus, and that's the space that you need if you want your Viego to really pop off, right?
Yeah.
So he's just hopping around, he's doing tons of damage.
It's a trampoline comp.
It's crazy because you see all the helpers on the side of T1 that are allowing the carries to do their job. It's incredibly powerful when you break down a replay like that in slow motion. And so it was not looking great, but T1 are still holding on, and their jungle is incredibly fed. As you can see, GA is picked up here for Oner. We saw in the last game.
Gone. That's an AP Varus. Oh, they're gonna try and contest.
Canyon's trying to get in. Let's see the angle. He's gonna Taxi on the Faker, who flashes over to the team, but now they got a turn. Faker's knocked back. The TP's coming in, and Faker's really low now. DK might be able to turn this one around. The clone is being sent forward, trying to tank up some space. That another knockup comes up on the Kana, as the follow through from the Nico is huge, and Kana will be taken out though, as Oner here is once again gigantic on the Viego, and he is just corralling the team into this bottom river. As the health bars are low, but the flashes are coming through from the side of T1. They really want to hunt down Deft first and foremost, as even a TP's coming in here once again, as Deft just cannot catch a break in this one. He is being zoned out forever, doesn't do any damage to Cassante, that's for sure. As down he will go, and Kellen ends the rest of the team. Another ace to the side of T1.
And it looks like T1 should be able to get the Baron, get the Infernal Soul, and end it from here on out. D+ just not able, as Canyon goes in on Faker here, but even without the flash, like, no one can follow. We have Kana backing while that is happening. That's not on Kana, and I understand, you know, D+ looking for an opportunity. Maybe he can get the pick on Faker with Deft, but you need your front line. Showmaker trying to go for some heroics, but only hit Zeus and Keria, who could not be really bothered responding to that at all. And now Nash gone. Infernal Drake still up, but with Nash in full control of the map, hard to imagine that D+ can get their hands on this one.
Well, they're going to have to roll the dice here, I think, Chronicler. It's either you get this Infernal, or you lose to Infernal Soul and Baron push from T1. So let's see what you got, DK. Do you have anything left in the tank? You're down 10,000 gold almost. 9.5. Faker's doing a good job of poking. But yeah, you really need to get on top of Oner and Guma at the same time. It's not going to be easy. And immediately Kana's just 100-0. He is so low. Down he goes as in goes Deft. A nice little combo, but immediately he gets blown to smithereens as the Kaisa is gone. And Showmaker just does not have the damage. And the Kaisa that gets the double kill, it's Oner. He's looking for more. He's looking for Showmaker as well. Make it a triple, as he will take him down as well. This game is over, as T1 will be able to push in with the Baron buff and the Infernal Soul if they need it, as he's just walking Canyon here down into the Nexus for the 2-0 victory.
And Oner going from having a rough couple of first weeks to double-digit kills on the Viego. He's not messing around, and T1